Okay. Um, Currently, as we left off last on Deep Space 17, with the intruder making her escape and the threat no longer, the threat concluded, Project Aegis continues on with Starfleet sending two replacement researchers to Deep Space 17 via the USS Sagan. Both researchers have been vetted by Starfleet Security and Starfleet Intelligence, as this matter. While this matter has, I'm sorry, lost my train of thought. Since this Project Aegis is of the utmost importance for Starfleet and the Cardassian Union. With that, though, we are going to start off in the sick bay of the USS Tenchi. Uh, Doctor Mountain, you managed to patch up Ellin of Four. It has been a little bit since the incident. However, you're getting ready to begin fitting her with a replacement arm. But give me an insight plus medicine to go over the medical checks before you begin, or at least preparing for her surgery.
All right. I can do that. Let's see. Would cybernetics be a focus involved with this?
Well, you're also going over her, making sure she's able to go through, you know, the surgery and whatnot. So you're just double
Okay.
checking everything. So it would be like xenobiology or anatomy.
Genetics.
Not so much genetics. It's more like internal medicine type deal. Well, not even internal medicine, but no momentum gained. I sent you the information you sort of uncovered, Doctor, as you're kind of going over the her last scan done by a nurse. Um, and you've kind of noticed some disturbing things that's going on with her, which is
Okay.
going to impact what you have to do.
All right. Where is my baby? Is she in sick bay?
I would imagine she's probably in her quarters resting without
Okay.
an arm.
Understood. Uh, Doctor Mountain to Lieutenant Ellin of Four.
Uh, yeah, it'll take like 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'll come on and say, "Go ahead, Doctor."
Lieutenant, I was wondering if I could take a moment to speak with you about your current status, medically speaking, as well as the status of your prosthetics. Probably sooner rather than later would be a good time. Would you like to come to sick bay, or I can come to you? I guess.
I will come to sick bay, Doctor.
Great. I'll see you momentarily.
And
I have
assuming,
a question real quick. It may be too difficult, but it just popped in my mind, so I thought I'd ask. Using the mobile emitter, how difficult would it be to make it temporarily project a holographic arm? Not one that actually does anything, just like but it looks like an arm, like just on your side. Like you can't pick anything up with it. It doesn't move, but it just looks like an arm.
Just give me a daring engineering difficulty 1. I would say you could do it, but you would have to override the programming though for the doctor.
Like I don't want to lose him permanently. Just like not going to be able to use him at the moment. Or are you saying that would lose him permanently?
If he's tied directly into the mobile emitter, yes. There's a reason why he's like his imaging matrix right now is kind of scrambled.
Oh, I forgot about all that. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, you could technically save him to like a holodeck or the ship's matrix, computer matrix.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Your token is in the turbo lift as you take a ride to the sick bay.
Yep, I'll come into the doctor's office.
Ellin, please have a seat. How are you feeling today?
I am fine. I am operating at 85% capacity, and then I just kind of look over at my arm that's not there.
Yeah, yes, that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you. So after and looking through your medical records, and basically what I've found is that not only is the arm broken, but it appears that your other implants may also be rejected by your body. And so, at minimum, we'll have to put a prosthetic on your arm. But I'm concerned about your long-term physical and mental health if these begin to fail. I know this is a pretty challenging situation for you. But I just want to assure you that we'll do the best we can to make sure that you are shipshape at the end of this all. So it's imperative that we do this right away. They are failing rapidly, and I'm not really sure what the effects will be on you. So I'd like to schedule your surgery. I'm sorry I gave you a bunch of information at once, but it's important that we do this soon.
You should consult with with Mr. or Lieutenant Quicks, whatever his title is, with Lieutenant Quicks. I do not mind the procedure. If that is what you believe is necessary, then we can proceed. However, I do not know what the other side of this procedure holds.
I understand. I would suggest you taking some, along with your physical therapy, once we've done the surgery and removed any of the failing implants, to take some time with counselor Weeks, so that you can feel more assured of what's coming.
I'm gonna hold up. So you're still technically part of the Tenchi crew, and Quicks is not part of the Tenchi crew.
Yeah, we're forgetting that.
Oh, we're in that. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, yes, you definitely should speak with your ECH or one of the other counselor on board, if that is something that is important to you. But I'm really concerned about your physical body and the resulting um, potential harm to your body and mind because of those things. So I will make sure you are off the duty roster for now. And how much time do you think you'll need to prepare for this? Because we can set this up within the hour.
We can do it tomorrow. I have to repair the ECH.
I understand that you have thought of work to do, but I don't know if you have that amount of time. As far as they will fail, rather they seem to be failing rapidly. Um, so I don't even know if that is the time frame of which we have. So I would, like I said, the sooner the better. But let me go over a little bit more of the data. Perhaps I can give you a better time frame, and maybe tomorrow would be sufficient. So let me explore that a little bit. But like I said,
I
they're
will
they won't.
conduct the repairs I need to here, and if the need for intervention becomes unpalatable, you can take action.
Sure, we can. Do you have the equipment you need to do any repairs? If you at least, I'm sure there's a lab nearby.
I don't need that. I should be able to repair it here using one of your terminals.
At least like to keep you in observation for now, just to keep us apprised of when something may or may not occur. But I guess I will let you work on your project for now, unless things become dire. But please stay near sick bay if you would.
I will go override one of the doctor's consoles to fix the ECH and purge what's not supposed to be there.
Can I, GM, get a time frame estimate that I would think I would have for when these becomes critical or and less than critical? What is my time frame? Any specific one?
It's I can't really give that to you. It's hard to really.
Okay, no, I was just based on my my
They're
expertise.
they're failing. It's just a matter of time when they fail. So,
Okay,
but when they fail, the body her body will start rejecting the implants
understood.
because the nanites won't be protecting them, and then
Okay, well, I'm going to start preparing the surgery. I will call in any. I don't know if we have a surgeon on board, but I will call in an expert to work with myself and set up a room for that procedure when it becomes necessary.
that would just be your sick bay advantage. But okay.
Great. Then I will make that so.
Um, I will tell you this, Ellin of Four, you will not be able to repair the ECH here in sick bay. You would have to go to the Hollow Lab to do that near one of the holodecks.
Very well. I'll let the doctor know where I'm going, and I'll go there.
Um, I prefer you stay here. Actually, to be fair, he's gonna fail at any random time, and I don't know if you're wandering around the ship. I'm not even sure I'll be able to be available for you. We should just start the procedure for the next couple hours at minimum. How long do you think it would take to do this project? Is it a critical project? I don't think it is in this case. I think your health is more important.
The consequences of taking out some of the implants have
It's like all of the implants.
you didn't let me finish.
Sorry.
The consequences of taking out some of the implants will have far-reaching emotional and personal implications that a medical doctor may not be prepared for. And since the ship is without a dedicated counselor, the ECH will be necessary.
How long do you feel it would take?
It will not take long.
Okay.
If you wish, I will wear a cortical monitor.
Yes, I will keep you. Keep this on, and I'll keep your vitals going through the computer so I can keep tabs on your condition. If anything changes, please report immediately to sickbay, regardless of the status of the ECH. But until then, I guess you're free to go for the next couple of hours at the most. But I am concerned that you should do this surgery and take this as an important aspect of your health. But I understand your hesitation and your need for the counseling hologram. All right, well, make it quick then. Good luck. I apply the device. Make sure health telemetry is coming through.
All right, Ellin of Four, I believe you're heading to the HoloLab. Is that correct?
Yep.
You make your way to the HoloLab with the mobile emitter in hand to conduct repairs on it. I'm just using the science lab room for. How do you wish to conduct the repair?
I want to find the last backup that I have of him and try to purge things that don't match.
Daring plus engineering difficulty of 2 to separate his program, and then to sort of repair from the backups. The ship will assist with computers engineering. There was a ship sheet.
Oh no. Guess it's kind of early for determination on the first roll, but I'll go ahead and do it.
What value?
The future is holographic.
Sure.
Spin 2 to quash.
All right. You managed to separate the program and reroute everything, or the supporting, stuff from the AI, or well, sorry, backup, and you bring them online. It was difficulty.
Momentum.
Yeah, he spent. Yeah, so, yeah. There's no momentum gained. Do you bring the ECH online?
Yeah, I bring it online.
Please state the nature of your counseling needs. Ah, Ellin of Four. Here's my subroutines are intact.
I had to give you an antiviral treatment.
Curious. I only remember battling that thing. Was it a thing? Crew member from, not from the ship.
Yes, if you go fighting random strangers, that's how you get viruses. Anyways, I need you to pull from the computer everything you know about the removal of Borg implants from former Borg, and digest it as fast as possible, and give a report to the ship's chief medical officer.
Reason medicine difficulty 2 from the ECH.
Would be assisted by the computer's medicine.
Sure. Relative, this is a unique situation, Lieutenant. However, Most cases have been early on after their simulation, or longer term effect would be the case of 7 of 9 from the USS Voyager. It should be relatively harmless for you, however, if the procedure is, well, painless, though the mental psychological effects would be, considering your long term nature of being partially simulated with your Borg nanites still intact for several years now, would include that you might start developing feelings and potential post-traumatic stress symptoms. I would need to monitor you for, well, more in depth, unless you feel more comfortable talking to someone else, a more human individual that would be better suited for emotional needs.
You should formulate a treatment plan and give it to the doctor.
It would require several counseling sessions. But I will send the request.
We're headed to Med Bay now.
Very well. With that, though, we are going to go to operations on the station. Commander Arif. I'm assuming Garibaldi's up there.
Say again?
Real quick, though. Garibaldi is in ops currently? Or is he in his...
He can be an option since he's filling in for security until the new guy gets here.
Okay. Are you currently in ops, Arif?
Yeah. Feels like the place to be.
Ryder speaks up. Commander Arif, we just got a signal from the USS Sagan. They're arriving ahead of schedule. They're requesting that they beam over the 2 researchers when they arrive.
I'm gonna glance quickly. I'm gonna glance quickly to Garibaldi and then back to Ryder and ask, how far ahead of schedule? When will they be arriving?
They should be arriving here. They stated within the next couple hours. They had a distress call of since they're still closer to the station on the colony on Relia Prime. There apparently is an outbreak of Talarian measles.
How close are we to that planet?
We're 15 light years away, sir. The Sagan would actually be the fastest ship to get to the planet and still be able to drop off the 2 researchers.
Fair enough. And Arif's feeling a little edgy due to the latest events. Have we confirmed that they have the proper clearance codes?
It was a priority 1 transmission from the Sagan, and it is verified, sir.
Understood. So if I gather right, they're simply dropping off a couple researchers and heading to the outbreak?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. And how many researchers? 2?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I'm trying to eat while playing. Yes, Commander, they are 2 researchers. Their names are not displayed due to security reasons.
I understand. And I'm gonna look over to Garibaldi and I'm gonna say, Chief, this is certainly probably going overboard, but just due to recent events, I'd like these researchers, at least initially, I'd like you to assign someone to keep an eye on them, but don't make it obvious.
Sure, sir. I had security teams assigned to them already.
Excellent.
Um, Ensign, does Starfleet send genetic and medical profiles to the researchers for the
Only,
research to verify their identities?
no, sir.
Um, actually, hold on for a moment, Ari's gonna say, and I'm gonna walk to my office and just for my own curiosity, I'm gonna see if I have access to who these researchers are.
Uh, let's go control command difficulty 2.
Alrighty, control command. Could you please take a threat? Um, and yeah, no focus. Oof.
You can succeed at cost if you want.
I apologize. What's the downside to that?
There's a complication. Like you get some of the information, but there is a sort of, you may not get all of the information.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
The two individuals of the researcher is Dr. Oscar Nickel and a Lieutenant Aurora. Um Dr. Nickel is a former researcher. He's worked with Starfleet engineering and science teams for quite a long time, whereas Lieutenant Aurora's her information is classified via Starfleet Intelligence.
Oh, Starfleet Intelligence. Fair enough. I'm gonna just walk back out onto into ops and nod to Garibaldi and say, "Great, that's good work, Chief. I appreciate you pre-assigning the security teams. Can you think of anything else we can do to possibly aid?" Um, um, I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on the Sagan in their journey. Maybe send along a couple doctors.
I would. I mean, I can check with medical to see if they have any spare personnel, sir. But uh, probably need to contact the Sagan's captain and see if they want or need the help. If we lose they take some of our medical staff. We might not see them for several days or longer.
And see, that's why you're a good sounding board. We'll help them if they request it, but for now, we'll keep our crew our own.
Yes, sir.
Um, and with that, I suppose Reef's gonna look around and does anyone else have anything to report?
No, sir. That's the latest development.
Well, excellent. In which case, please notify me as the Sagan approaches and carry on.
Aye, sir.
And with that, I'll nod and why not? I'll look to Garibaldi and say, Garibaldi, you have ops, and I'll head back to my office.
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to do, real quick?
I mean, I'm content to hold out until the Sagan gets here. I can't think of anything specific.
Garibaldi would just make sure that that the appropriate security measures are in place for the new researchers. So we've got security assigned to their quarters and um, some unobtrusive escorts for them when they're on the station. I get an update from the security forces on the ground to make sure there hasn't been any tampering or damage done to the ground station that board from the Tenchi set up.
There has been no tampering done to the ground station. You know, that's been kind of monitoring that heavily closely. The 3 remaining researchers they've been working down there, but their progress has been slow. Other than that, there really hasn't been a whole lot of security measures lately.
Then Garibaldi's good. He'll just do what the commander told him to do. Be the ops officer for the day.
All right, we're actually going to cut over to the Sagan. Dr. Nikhil, you are currently enjoying a nice meal with your fellow researcher who doesn't seem to be eating. Should probably put other character tokens down here. And engaging in just idle research or idle conversation.
They know this person, right?
Yes, to a degree.
As much as I tried to program these replicators, they can't seem to get a good sauerbraten.
Perhaps you should talk with the chefs here on board this ship. Perhaps they can help you perfect the recipe of the ship's replicators.
We will not be on this ship long enough. We will be arriving at Deep Space 17 soon. Do you have the latest simulations?
I have programmed a few simulations. However, I will need more data once we arrive there. Communication with the other researchers is complicated given the security level.
Yes, yes. I just hope to get this job done quickly and safely. What do you make of this assignment?
Well, it is an endeavor to prove that I am not a murderous robot. But any help that I can help give to the Federation and Starfleet is something I do try and endeavor, and it does. This project will help my people as well.
Starfleet will soon come to understand your brilliance. They might not see it yet. Do not be discouraged.
I have plenty of time, Doctor.
Plenty more years than I have, unfortunately.
And your presence will be missed by many, Doctor. I'm sure of it.
And he'll throw down the forks onto the plate. Bah, I cannot eat this dribble. Perhaps once this assignment is done, I will return to Hanover and get a proper meal.
Well, then we shall try to endeavor to make good on this project and get you back to Earth safely.
We should be arriving soon. Perhaps we should make sure everything is packed and ready to go.
The captain of the Sagan approaches you. Doctor, Lieutenant, we will be arriving ahead of schedule to Deep Space 17.
This is good news.
Yes, I'm sure you would love to join us on a medical endeavor afterwards, but I'm sure you have busy work.
Medical is just outside my area of expertise, Captain.
Well, if only I can make a machine to fix everything.
Tell me, Lieutenant, are you well versed in the ways of medicine?
Sadly, no. Science and engineering are more of my focuses. I am not as brilliant as you are, though, Doctor.
Well, perhaps it is time to use some of your down hours. It is never too late to start learning.
Indeed, though I don't feel the need to learn medical, but perhaps I'll take it up one day.
Thank you for informing us, Captain. We shall be ready to depart within the hour.
My pleasure. I'll have your things moved to transporter room 1.
Do be careful with our equipment, Captain. It is very delicate.
Yes, yes. I will inform my chief engineer and quartermaster. I'll see you in transporter room 1. She leaves.
Well, Lieutenant, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Perhaps we could find a decent meal on the station for you. I heard there might be some live food with one of the vendors.
We shall see. We shall see. And he'll slowly get up with his old cracking bones and head toward the turbo lift.
A couple hours pass, and on Deep Space 17, your current operations officer, Lieutenant, just to inform you, since you're currently in charge of operations, that the Sagan is dropping out of warp and heading towards the station.
Ah, very good. You verified the ship's ID code.
ID code confirmed.
Very good. Thank you. Transmit standard docking procedures to them. Give them permission to dock, and I will let the commander know that Sagan is here.
They're just going into orbit of the. They're going near, doing a flyby near the station, Lieutenant. They are not entering orbit. Or sorry, they're not docking with the station.
Oh, very good. Then let me know when they're ready to transport the researchers over. Lieutenant Quick, it's a comm badge. Lieutenant Quicks to Commander Reef.
Go ahead.
Commander, the Sagan has arrived and should be within transporter range soon.
Excellent. Thank you. I'll be right out. And I will walk right out.
Ah, very good, sir. Do you want to go down to the transporter room and greet our guests? Yes.
I suppose that would be the proper thing to do, Chief. Want to come with me?
It's up to you, sir.
Yeah, better. Why not? I'd like to have the security chief with me just in case. I'm feeling a little jumpy.
Yes, sir.
And I will head to the turbo lift.
You walk into the turbo lift and greeted by the current transporter operator who's on duty.
I'm gonna nod to him and say, "Hello, Chief. I believe the Sagan's responsible for the transport. Am I correct?"
Yes, sir. Well, we're going to initialize a locking procedure, linking the transporters together.
Excellent. In which case, I'm glad you're on the console.
And they signaling now.
Looks like you have some work to do.
And beaming aboard is an elderly man dressed in civilian clothing, one you can only presume as the doctor you read in the report, the other one you're not familiar with, who is currently in a Starfleet uniform and Science Division blue.
Well, I'll put my hand on my stomach and give a little half bow and say, "Greetings to you both. I'm Commander Reef at Carnexo of this station, and now you have me at a disadvantage. Who may you be?"
Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I am Dr. Nickel. This is my associate, Lieutenant Aurora. I assume everything we needed for the laboratory experiments are ready.
I'm gonna quickly glance at Garibaldi, but respond by saying, "I believe so, and worst comes to worst, I believe we can get it up and running quite quickly. However, we did figure you might want to see your quarters first, or at least, do they have any stuff?"
There are several boxes and containers on the transporter pad.
And at least store your cargo and gear.
There will be time for rest later. We are very excited to get to work on a new project, Commander. And we plan to get this project completed quickly.
Oh, I can certainly understand that. After all, there's nothing like turning that to that next page in a book. But we just want to make sure everything is safe for you. But that's not a problem at all. We can transport your belongings to your quarters. Is there anything that you need out of them now?
Yes. Several of our engineering equipment and scanning devices are very sensitive. They need to be moved very carefully to the labs.
Of course. Uh, as soon as they are inspected and cleared for hazardous materials, we will get them to the labs right away.
Very good. Now, if you will, show us to these labs.
Well, why don't I take care of that? And Chief, looking at Garibaldi, why don't you take a quick scan of the possessions while I'm showing them the laboratory, so we can get this fine pair to work as soon as possible.
Yes, Commander. Right on. We'll have as soon as our cargo and equipment clears security scan, I'll have it transported to the plant below.
And I suppose I'll step up to the pad. Looking at the elderly man who has now walked off, and I'll say, "Shall we?"
Yes. They're located on the planet's surface. Excuse me, I am a little forgetful in my old age.
Oh, as someone who is quite old myself, I can't tell you how much I've forgotten because, quite frankly, I've forgotten. 3 to beam down.
And Gauss kind of looks. He's like, perhaps you should take a shuttle down, Commander. The closest location is 5 kilometers away that I can beam down.
Oh, that is a fair point. I'm gonna look to both of them. Neither of you feel like getting that much exercise today, do you?
Not unless you want this research project to start in 5 years.
Of course. Well, do us a favor. Why don't you sight to sight us to the shuttle bay? Spare us a little bit of that exercise.
These old joints appreciate it, Commander.
You know what? I'll even try to go you one better. Why don't you just put us right into the shuttle?
This is gonna be a control plus engineering. You have advanced sensors, right? On the station, I think so. Yes. In the transporter room, so it'd be difficulty 1, control plus engineering, assisted by the station sensors plus engineering, to beam directly into one of the shuttles.
Alrighty. What character sheet should I Oh,
In Gauss. Garibaldi, give me insight plus security difficulty 1. Guess for any, like even a reef can make this too.
I would have liked to have given you that.
Ooh, complication.
There's nothing I can do about that.
Well, you do make it. You notice on the lieutenant.
This was the insight security though. It
Yes.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Pertains to her. You notice on the lieutenant that her eyes kind of glow blue a bit. As for the complication, you're not familiar with any You're not really familiar with any species like this, so you're really suspicious of like who she is. So
Yes, I am.
any if there's any presence rolls, they're going to increase by difficulty by 1 for the complication because of that suspicion.
Okay, fair enough. Excellent. I'm gonna hold off on doing anything about that presently. Oh, I have a another roll to make, don't I?
The engineer does.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh. Well, there's really you can't do an assist, and he doesn't have anything. So...
This is
complication. He's gonna say, "Sorry, Commander, I'm unable to do a site to site for you. Apparently, there's a problem with the buffering system. I'm gonna take all the transport rooms offline for the time being."
Well then, I'm gonna look to the 2. Then I guess we will have to walk to the shuttle bay, and we will wait for the chief to complete his scans. We'll get the shuttle loaded up, and we'll get you down to the laboratory post haste. I apologize. I tried.
Very well.
And I will lead them to the shuttle.
And Lieutenant, she picks up a rather large crate. I'll transport this particular equipment, Doctor. I know how delicate it is.
Oh, no, you don't have to. It hasn't been scanned yet, so it's not going anywhere.
Very well.
We
If you
will
wish to scan
absolutely
it now,
finish
you're
this up.
more than welcome to.
Just give me a moment, Lieutenant, and let me just check it. I'm sure you've been briefed as to why you were brought here.
Yes, I was. And she lets it down, and it makes a rather large clank noise when it hits the ground.
Wait, did she just drop it, or
No,
did she?
like she set it down, and it seemed like the object is relatively very heavy.
Okay. So just because that piques my curiosity, I'm gonna move over to it, and I'm gonna kind of run my hand along the edge near the top, just to try to get a sense of how much it might weigh, while asking, "Is it okay if I open this to help the chief?"
It is very delicate and sensitive equipment, Commander. A miscalibration of that equipment could set our experiments back 3 weeks.
Okay, then in that case, you should probably open it. You probably are um, more well versed in the machinery.
Both myself and the lieutenant have the proper security clearances for this research, Commander. But if it will alleviate your concerns, we will submit to these exams.
Excellent.
And, he's German, but that was not very friendly sounding.
Does not matter.
He'll just nod to the lieutenant.
Garibaldi just kind of smiles at the lieutenant and says, "That looks heavy. You must work out."
She just kind of looks at you like, oh, not really. And you go ahead and scan the object if you want. Equipment.
Control security, inside security.
It'd be more like insight engineering, unless you're looking for weapons, then insight
Yeah,
security.
I'm looking for anything that might be a threat to the station or the researchers.
Insight security difficulty 0.
Ooh, let's see if I can fit momentum fishing. Really?
I know, right? It's we
You
are
guys
the
are
dream
really
team.
winning on these games tonight.
Wow. There is no weapons in the case. Inside the case, that at least you can tell, there is a power source. It does appear that this is a instrument of some kind that you have no idea what it is, but it is definitely not a threat.
The device is cleared, Commander.
Understood. Thank you, Chief. In which case, why don't we start taking that trip to the shuttle bay? And Chief, why don't you come along? Just in case, I know I'm not much of a pilot, so, and I know that you are quite the expert.
Garibaldi looks back at the commander with almost a panicked look on his face, like, "Yes, sir. I think I remember how to pilot a shuttle."
Oh, don't be bashful, Chief. Come on, everyone, let's go.
I'll catch up with you, Commander. I just want to talk to the transporter chief for just a moment.
Of course. In which case, I'll start heading to the door and say, shall we?
Oh, before we go down, I know the doctor here is quite urgent. We'll be notified of our luggage being sent to our quarters here on the station. Our personal luggage, that is.
Oh, of course. As you heard, the transporters are down. They are perfectly safe here, but if you'd like to stop by your quarters and drop them off manually, we can do that too.
If you'd like, Commander, I've got the cargo handlers coming up to get their equipment. I certainly find a yeoman to deliver their belongings to their quarters, if you wish.
It's a great idea. Is that agreeable to the two of you?
That is perfectly fine with me, Commander. And thank you. She gives kind of a slight bow.
Of course. It's my job to help facilitate your job. So I'll have that, and we'll be seeing him in a few minutes after he's had his conversation. And I'd offer to help you with your case, but you seem very able.
That's no trouble. It's sensitive and well.
Yep. Let me just take a quick look at something, and I'm gonna make a couple taps into the console. Yep, it looks like most of the shuttlecrafts are available. Then I'm gonna head back and try to usher them out the door. While on that console, I left a little message for either the transporter or Garibaldi. I assume one of them, the transporter, was looking at me while I was doing it, so.
What's the message so that they know?
Don't trust the woman. Not so much the man either. Assume we will be momentarily stopping on the way to the laboratory in the shuttle. Basically, about halfway down there, I'm just gonna stop the shuttle.
She lifts up the case and follows and starts following you.
Excellent. And I'll stay at a pace that the elderly gentleman can keep up with.
She looks to doctor to her colleague and kind of smirks like, "Do you require a wheelchair, doctor?"
We have them,
999. I'm not there yet, Lieutenant.
She giggles a little bit.
Hey, don't knock it, Doctor. If I could be pushed around all day, I'd think that, I might take advantage of that too.
I am sure one day I will require one of those. But today is not that day.
Well, as long as you're young at heart, it's always a great start.
Young in heart and spirit and mind. But the body starts to fail me.
Well, I can certainly relate with that. Ever thought about trying to, figure out a way to fix that?
9, I have lived a very long life.
How long, if you don't mind me asking?
I will turn 103 years old.
Oh, a triple digit, man. Excellent. That's truly wonderful. And you, Lieutenant, just as you know, figuring things out, how old might you be?
That depends on your reference of time.
Well, why don't we start with yours, then go to mine, and then work our way from there?
I have also been told that a woman never tells her age.
Well, that's an argument I can accept. Hmm. Oh, and as let's say we get to the shuttle bay, I'll lead them into one of the runabouts. Let's go with runabout 2. Um, and essentially make sure they're comfortable. Sit, wait for the chief. Yeah.
Yeah. Once they leave, of course, Airbus just have the security staff clear the cargo and have it moved. But he wants to have a talk with the transporter chief and ask him, despite the malfunction, you still have the transporter logs from when they came aboard?
Yes.
Anything unusual about the female lieutenant's biology?
That's going to be an insight medicine difficulty 2.
I will give you a threat for an extra die and to activate bold.
That would be for the transporter chief, by the way.
Oh, can I do it? Can I look at it for him?
You can assist.
I will assist. Transporter. What is the transporter chief's name?
Angalis.
Let's see. He said,
If he's been used, he might actually qualify for something. But guys didn't mark it.
insight medicine. Oh my gosh. Focus on transporters and replicators?
No. I don't think he has a focus.
No, he doesn't. All right, well, he will also give you a threat for a third die, considering his medicine score.
You could roll a 1, you never know.
It's entirely possible.
He rolled a 1. Look at that.
He did.
Just need the assist from you. You gain 2 momentum, but there is a complication.
I'm going to use those 2 momentum to squash the complication.
You look on through the transporter look through the transporter. You only registered one biological life form.
Any clue in the log to tell me what she is?
Not human. Appears to
Interesting.
be mechanical.
All right. Thanks, Chief. Send a copy of that to my security station, and then keep this under your hat.
Yes, sir.
And then Garibaldi will go to catch up with the commander and the researchers.
Well, we're gonna go to the commander and the researchers as they're getting ready to depart. Garibaldi is not there yet.
Would either of you like a beverage?
I'm fine, thank you.
And you, sir?
We had a nice meal before we left. Well, as nice as you can call that replicated filth.
Oh, please don't even tell me about it. One of the main advantages to being a station is we have a regular influx of real food. Surely, if you can pull yourself away from the project for a couple minutes one of these days or nights, I'd love to take you to one of the restaurants we have on board.
Yes, the lieutenant here has mentioned this food.
Really? And I'll turn to the lieutenant. What strikes your fancy? What was good enough to be mentioned? This I have to know.
It was mainly research for the doctor since he complained about his meal while we were on the Sagan.
Oh, that was quite nice of you. It's those little extra steps that make for fine officers. Wouldn't you agree, Doctor?
Think the lieutenant is being modest. I did
Oh?
more than complain. I yelled, I spit out.
You got a little cranky.
I don't have much time left, Commander. Now is not the time for subpar.
What a wonderful statement. Do you mind if I steal that?
Of course.
Oh, in which case I won't. After all, wouldn't want to get on the bad side of you. Both of you, you seem like quite able in fetching people. The chief should be along momentarily, and we'll get underway.
By this time, Garibaldi, you can arrive.
Sorry about the wait. Thanks, Commander. Cargo is the cargo crews are working on getting the other shuttles loaded with your equipment, doctors. Should have it on the surface momentarily. Everything has cleared security. The only thing I don't have, Doctor, I have your medical file, but Lieutenant, your medical file didn't arrive with the Sagan.
That is because there is none.
In case of the worst should happen, we have injuries. Do we have your engineering? Do we have your schematics, Lieutenant?
They are classified with Starfleet Intelligence. But repair should be easy to my body.
Very good. Just making sure we have everything we need to ensure your safety and health.
I appreciate it.
Well, actually, and with that little exchange, I'm gonna look to Garibaldi and say, excellent. I think we can have a trip with no detours.
Yes, Commander. On your order, sir.
Let's do this.
Are you still gonna fly the shuttle and stop it midway or?
No, that was what the detours line was about. I'm dropping that. Now that Garibaldi basically announced that she was an android.
So you fly the shuttle down all the way to the planet's surface, and we're going to scene change, which guys have not been able to gain momentum at all today. I feel so sorry for you, Doctor. I've really tried. We're gonna go back to the sickbay on the USS Tenchi. Doctor, you have prepped everything, and I'm assuming Ellin of Four has reported for the implant removals.
Yep. Although, with the way y'all are rolling, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die.
That might be a possibility.
This is completely non-invasive, so
No, this is invasive surgery with some of these implants.
It's like the definition of invasive. You're removing things.
okay, calm down. It's okay. All right. So do I have an assisting doctor?
No, but you do have the ship for an advantage. So
The ECH has emergency medicine, but not surgery. So, like, you can use him, but you have to screw up first.
Well, I can do that. I have emergency message. I'm hoping my knowledge of cybernetics will help me guide my hand as it moves.
this is going to be a control plus medicine, difficulty of 4, work 17, magnitude of 4, resistance of 2.
Okay. Well, I'm going to front load with a bunch of threat.
You do have an
was it
advantage.
4, you said?
Oh, you do have an advantage. And then the ship will assist with computers medicine.
Okay.
But you do have an advantage.
And what can I do with that advantage?
You can lower the resistance or lower the difficulty.
Oh, let's lower the difficulty.
Lowering the difficulty by 1?
Yep.
So that'll be diff 3.
Okay, and I will take a threat for a die.
So you're giving me a threat. Got it.
What could possibly go wrong? And my focuses are applied.
Cybernet. If you're using cybernetics, it's going to be an increased complication unless you have surgery for a focus.
I do not.
Two momentum gained. Roll 7 challenge dice for me, Doctor. That is currently 3 work.
All right. How many momentum do we gain? 2. I'll take 1 for piercing.
Okay, that will get you to 5.
And that should be sufficient.
That will be a breakthrough. Unless you have surgical savant.
I do not.
Okay.
I do have a let's see, studious. No, sorry, no, that would be it. Again, I just picked up combat medic. I don't think that was.
That will not help you.
We could start a firefight.
Oh, hey, ECH, why don't you take that phaser?
Yeah, if you point the phaser at the doctor, he's gonna get better.
It's under stress, under duress. I can do it.
Roll 1 challenge dice for your veteran, though. Oh, no, sorry, you didn't use determination yet. Okay.
No, I did not.
Yeah. I'm thinking you
I
did
thought
for
I
some
had
reason.
mine. Nope, not this time.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you still have your determination. But yes, it's not timed, not yet.
Okay.
But yes, as you put her, sedate her. You start removing.
Sedate, yes.
Sedated her, and you start removing the implants.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the most egregious one that seems to be causing trouble. Like the one that's gonna fail first, most likely. I mean, one's already failed. So
Well,
I assume they are.
yeah, the 2 I have is a cortical array and the adaptive shield generator.
Right. But the arm is useless.
One of those is brain surgery. One of those is not.
Yeah, the cortical array is the brain surgery portion, which is why it's the difficulty. So,
I understand. Did the difficulty go down already?
I need to know what you're using the advantage for. Base is 3 currently.
Base is 3. It did go down because of the breakthrough. I will do the difficulty again
So
and spend the momentum for a die. So I actually get a reroll this time, thanks to my own momentum. And still, complication range is increased a little bit because of the
yes.
cybernetics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Just need the computer's medicine for the ship. Is a complication. You gain a momentum.
Can I quash?
No, you don't have enough momentum.
Can I use threat to use quash?
Only if I accept it, and I'm not accepting it because I'm going to use it.
Dang it. Okay. Oh, I have a no. I have cautious medicine. I can reroll that.
There you go.
That's why I took it. There we go.
All right, 2 momentum gain.
That's how you change it.
Roll 7 challenge dice. Currently, that is 2 work.
Yeah. How much is it for a reroll?
1 dice.
1 momentum.
Yes, it's 1 momentum.
All right, I will spend the momentum to reroll.
You roll 4.
Yep.
That
Come on.
is 4 total work
I guess piercing.
for the other momentum.
No, I won't do that. Actually, I want to keep it. I needed that momentum last time.
Okay, so you're going to be at 1 momentum. So I'm assuming the roll stands, so there is no breakthrough for this roll. But progress was made. So you're being very, very careful, Doctor, as you're trying to remove her.
Yeah, I
colorful
almost cut the red wire, and I held my hand just in case.
I mean, this is a little bit more gruesome. It's more like removing an implant from her brain.
But I understand.
So
Great.
try not to damage brain tissue. So
Yes, that would be bad. Well, with brain surgery, shouldn't the patient still be awake?
partially, but
Play the violin. Okay. So I'm going to use the advantage to decrease difficulty again.
so it stays at 2. I'm going to spend, because this is taking a while. I'm going to spend 2 threat to add intervals to this. You have a total of 8 intervals to finish the surgery before critical harm comes to her.
Okay. Spend the momentum for a die.
Advantages decrease the difficulty.
It was, yeah.
Okay.
And I get a reroll.
I should up the complication range.
I know,
All
right? You already
I
got my names.
two momentum. Roll 7 challenge dice.
Gosh. There's nothing. Reroll. That's 5. Sheesh.
Currently, you're doing 1 work. Six total work, I believe.
Yes. Great.
That is a breakthrough. Base difficulty is at 2. You currently have 6 intervals left.
How much on the work track is
You're actually at 15 out of 17.
Okay.
But I'm going to spend 2 threat, and I'm going to take away 4 work.
What? Okay. I'm going to use my advantage.
Hold on. I'm going to explain it narratively as to why the work track. Her nanites are actively fighting against you.
Those little buggers.
So do I get to do opposed rolls or?
No.
I mean, you could.
Do you want to?
Okay, so I'm going to actually use the advantage to get rid of the resistance this time.
Okay, so base difficulty's 2.
And I'll take die with momentum. And okay.
Gain 2. Keep in mind resistance is at 1, so roll 7 challenge dice.
It's not the same as piercing.
At the advantage is it's a permanent removal of resistance. So
Okay. Can't get those dice
Currently-
going.
3 work.
3 work. Am I out of momentum? I thought I had.
You have-
movement.
You gain 2.
Oh, I have 2 left. Okay.
You can reroll 3.
Yes, I guess I'll reroll those. Get over the threshold.
That will actually complete it. That.
So breakthrough and finish the track.
Yes. Finish the word track, and you manage to make quick work, and you're able to remove the remaining implants that are failing and patch her up, which she'll be sedated for a while, but we'll skip ahead as she's in recovery and will eventually come to, and ECH is standing by.
I'm going to be ready. I'm going to wake her. It seems like the appropriate time to do so. And hyperspeed. If I believe she's out of danger.
Yeah, you can wake her up. There's enough time to where everything is.
Time's passed and she's ready to make it.
Is there any leftover? Do I feel like I've had surgery or like super groggy or like what do I feel medically?
Probably groggy and confused. A little bit of
Just take a
confusion.
moment, Lieutenant. Just waking up from a major surgery. But, ECH is here for your assistance if you have a need. How are you feeling?
Yeah, Ellen will put her hands on her head and say, I cannot think.
What do you mean?
It's so slow.
So, yes. Yes, those implants did boost your cognitive powers, but I believe they will take an adjustment period to get used to not having those implants anymore. But they're better out than in because they were failing and would have caused serious harm to you. But take your time. There's no need to rush. Take it at your own pace.
Yeah, Ellen will start kind of doing a tick with the arm she actually. I guess I have both arms now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that
Yeah,
doing
you have
like
a prosthetic
tick,
arm, but it's not a Borg
Yeah.
arm.
and we'll say, "You say I could have died?"
Well, there's always a risk with surgery. But those implants were definitely going to cause you harm.
Why would you do that, Doctor?
Do you what? Take out your implants?
Why would you try to hurt me?
I would never hurt you. I was making sure that that would not occur when devices failed.
I'll try to like get off the bed and say, I don't want to be here.
Well, be calm.
The ECH guy's like, Lieutenant, please restrain yourself. It is not wise to get up from bed currently. You are still in recovery. Are you in any discomfort? Do you feel pain?
I was about to say, I think she's kind of freaked out, so maybe he could make like a check or something to calm her down. Otherwise, she might try to bolt.
Then we'll go presence medicine for the doctor of the ECH one. Then it's opposed with Ellen's control command.
Maybe daring command, because the lack of control is the problem.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll go with daring command. Yeah, makes sense.
Although I did basically just make myself have the worst possible stats.
Can I use persuasion as a focus? Persuade her to stay on the bed, essentially.
Yeah.
And if I'm the lead, I'll take a die with momentum.
I'll give you a threat.
Hey, now I'm just kidding. Patience first.
Ooh. Doctor
Okay,
did
DBC.
spend.
How?
You did spend momentum though.
Oh, that's right. I do have
Oh, I was
a nice try.
In all fairness, yeah, you get the momentum back, but yes, Ellin of Four, you are convinced that it is best to keep lying down, at least for the time being.
But the ECH is here to help chat with you if you need to. But you just take time. It takes time to recover, so there's no pressing needs for you at the moment. So go ahead and relax, Lieutenant Ellin.
What do you mean I'm not needed?
Oh, I mean, immediately.
Doctor, I think you're needed elsewhere currently. You have other patients to attend
Yes,
to.
I should go check on my other patients. All right, you have a good day. I don't have any other patients, so I'll go to my room. The surgery part's easy, he says to himself. It's the after effects.
Lieutenant, can I have the nurse fetch you something to drink? Or perhaps I should get you something to drink.
That's right. As like with the regeneration, I don't have to drink or eat.
Right, but now you do.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, not realizing that that's going to be important, I just say no. I
I
don't have
would
time for that.
I would highly suggest that you do. You will no longer be able to regenerate. Perhaps we should try some water. We need to keep you hydrated, Lieutenant.
I don't remember ever having drink water. Normally, when I'm getting something to drink, it's tea or an ale.
In this case, I would refrain from any alcoholic beverages and any substance that might cause stomach irritation.
Actually, if I'm gonna have to drink, I was aware that Vulcan teas and other beverages can affect the senses or even intoxicate. And I don't know what that's like. I want to try that.
Later, you are still in recovery. Perhaps we should go to the station's the terrestrial enclosure on the station, and sample different beverages and cuisines. When you are cleared.
Yeah, we should do that.
But for right now, your body needs rest. And he kind of walks away for a minute and eventually returns with a small cup with water with a straw. Here you go, Lieutenant. Take short sips.
There's no enjoyment to this at all. It isn't. It has no taste.
It is water. I do not know about its taste because I cannot taste anything. I am merely a hologram.
I've never. I haven't been able to feel anything for a long time. But I thought all drinks had tastes. Why does anyone drink this?
People do drink this. Water is very important to most humanoid life forms.
Can you make it taste?
You can improve its taste by adding, I believe humans use lemon to spruce up their water. However, for now, I do not recommend having any additives to your drinking for the moment.
I don't think I can continue with this. I need something that has feeling in it.
Perhaps a carbonated beverage then. See, kind of size. And he walks away, comes back with another cup, and hands you essentially something that tastes very similar to Sprite. I hope this is to your liking. And takes the water from you and
Yeah, I'll take a sip of it and then say, I'll just look in astonishment at it.
he kind of returns after disposing of the water. He goes, "Is there a problem with your carbonated beverage?"
I can't describe what it's doing. I'll actually grab the glass and walk into the doctor's office.
The nurse kind of like tries to stop you, and I'm assuming you resist, which I don't have stats for her, and she kind of like you. I guess walk towards her. She's kind of like, Lieutenant, please, and they're kind of like running behind you, telling you to get back into bed.
I'll put the glass. I'll walk into the doctor's office and kind of like put the glass on his desk and say, "You have, I think you have failed. This does not make sense."
Lieutenant, you're out of bid. I thought we discussed that earlier. Um, what seems to be the problem? You do not like your beverage. It's water, I presume.
Try it and see what it does. And I just like point to my mouth. It does not make sense.
Do you not taste anything? Do you not feel anything on your tongue? Is there some sort of uh, neurological thing? I stand up and I get a scan around. Are you feeling sensations on your tongue?
Yes, I do not believe that is supposed to happen.
That is a natural thing for most of us. I know there's an adjustment period. You have a whole galaxy to explore, cuisine of all sorts of natures. And this is your first foray. It is probably what is it? It looks a little carbonated, so some sort of beverage like that, sparkling water, as it were. Um, yes, just take your time. There's going to be different experiences that, because of the implants, have caused you to suppress many of your natural human abilities, like
I'm not
tasting
human.
or natural biological functions of humanoids. Is not only, you'll probably have sensations of taste, maybe your emotions will feel some feelings that you haven't before recently. um, Maybe your tactile sensors will be different. There's so much more to explore about yourself and the new condition of your body. So please return back to sick bay and lie in your bed for a while, and we can go through, I'm sure, a large amount of new sensations for you. But for now, your body just needs to rest. So if you would just lie down for a little while, that would be ideal.
I'm just gonna sit in the chair in the doctor's office and very cautiously sip at the beverage.
Okay. Um. Great. Computer, I'll take a coffee black, please. Hot. And then I'll take my drink and sit for a moment. Is there something on your mind, Lieutenant? How is your experience so far? Definitely new, I see.
Why would you put this in a drink? What is its purpose?
Hold it up to your nose and tell me what its purpose is. Can you smell it? Maybe the little bubbles will get your nose. It's for the sensation of it. There's no purpose necessarily. Not everything has a purpose, but it does have a quality to it that you might enjoy or not enjoy. Okay. This is a different sensation. Coffee has a different. Uh, the tongue, at least in humans, has multiple different sensors that can taste sweet or sour or bitter, among others. Takes a sip, and this is quite bitter, but it has a potency to it that has other qualities associated with it. It gives a stimulant. I suggest not doing that right now, sticking with water or your sparkling water. But you'll have plenty of time to acclimate to your new senses. But like I said, I suggest you go back to the net bay. When you finish your drink, of course, unless you have a questions.
Yeah, we can cut away. I don't have anything else.
All right. The runabout touches down on the planet's surface and awaiting at the entrance to the research um, is the station research team currently. And is it Doctor Willis?
Doctor?
Commander Reef and Mr. Lieutenant Quinix.
Chief. You can call him Chief. Easier to say.
Lieutenant Quakes is fine.
This must be the two new researchers.
Yep.
Oh, Dr. Mikel? It's been
Thank
too
you.
long.
Yes, yes. Thank you for the warm welcome.
I'm glad you joined us on this research project, Doctor. I thought you had retired, especially after the accident.
Yes, but with the urgency of this research assignment, Starfleet thought to ask me out of retirement for one more.
I see. Well, you have my condolences. And he kind of looks to Aurora's like, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with you. I am Lieutenant Aurora. Because Aurora, is it? He just kind of like looks like, is that it? uh, Pleasure to meet you, Lieutenant. Uh, these are my Cardassian counterparts, Dr. Toral and Specialist Jera Lemy.
Yes, yes, I heard this was a joint assignment.
Is there anything we can do up from the station to aid your research?
I'm afraid not, Commander. This is up to us brainiacs here.
Fair enough. Let's see. Chief, if you wouldn't mind, why don't, and I'm going to look to the scientists and I'm going to say, seems as if for the most part you know each other. Looks like it's a good time to start getting to work. And then pulling the chief away, I'm just going to ask Chief, do you mind if Do you mind staying down here a couple hours until the transporters are fixed, just to keep an eye on things for a little bit?
Um, yes, sir. Whatever your orders are, sir. Just quick thinks about the 5 mile hike to the transporter spot.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. I'll send another shuttle down.
Wait,
Yes, I will send a shuttle to retrieve you, Chief. It was just,
he didn't say the bit about that out loud.
no, I know, I realized that it was just a couple hours. I was trying to use that as the time interval.
Certainly, sir.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. I will try to muddle my way back up to the station without your piloting.
I'm sure you do fine, sir.
Yeah, it's mostly automatic anyways these days. Anyways, um I'll we've got some unloading to do, I think. So I'll probably help unload the shuttle and then head back up.
Garibaldi looks at the scientists. Sorry, I will do my best to stay out of the way. He looks at the two Cardassians. If the two of you, need to talk to somebody about what happened before, be sure to let me know.
He just walks back inside. And she kind of watches, like, I appreciate your hospitality. It's not needed for now. Thank you for the offer. And she heads back in. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'm sure we'll get to know each other shortly. But we are in one of the initial stages for completing the new matrix.
Listen, I'll get out of your way. Turns to the two newcomers. Your gear should be on the surface soon.
Thank you.
Garibaldi will get out of the way and check the security perimeter of the installation.
There's not much to check because there's no wildlife, so. But yeah, you do take a stroll through the canyon. It's very windy.
I'll do that. Get a report from the security folks he has on the planet, and then pretty much try to stay out of the scientist's way. Got some curiosity when he might sit off to a corner and watch, but gonna stay out of the way and not interfere.
The two Cardassians appear to be working in sort of their own, lab, essentially. There was two different lab portions made. They seem to be working on something. While Dr. Willis is starting construction, starting the initial, building the actual generator itself. Aurora kind of looks to Dr. Willis. Your method seems inefficient. He looks at her like a little bit sort of like, oh. Have you tried using nano bonding to unify the structure better? And they go off kind of on a tangent. What else is Garibaldi doing?
Just observing. Maybe trying to take note of any potential problems and personality conflicts between the groups. If there are, he might look for ways to smooth those things over. But if they're working together smoothly and getting the work done, his job is really to stay out of the way and keep them safe.
Give me insight medicine difficulty 1.
Okay. Based on the dice so far tonight, I'm going to give you a threat so I can activate bold.
Okay.
Psychiatry is a focus?
Sure, yeah. For momentum gained. You notice that Dr. Willis is not really happy with Lieutenant Aurora. Even though she is trying to help him out, she's doing it in the worst possible way. Because what seems like, when she's giving suggestions, which Willis is taking more of it as an insult rather than a helpful critique.
Given the opportunity, again, Quix is trying not to interfere or get in the way. But if there's an opportunity to talk to Lieutenant Aurora, he will kind of give her some pointers on how to broach her suggestions without bruising the ego of the other doctors.
What does Dr. Nickel like to do?
Get the equipment set up, start running the experiments, or going over the data.
Not into experimental phase yet, but give me insight plus engineering difficulty of 2.
I'll use a momentum.
Get it back. The data they're working on it's a new prototype multi-phase shield matrix, which requires new shield emitters, and he's designing the base shield emitter component. At least that's in principle. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of flaws in the design implementation, but there is room for improvement.
And he'll babble on, kind of talking to himself, the whole mad scientist spiel as he gets working on improving, the design or whatever.
Some time passes, and as the squabble between Aurora and Willis engages more, Willis orders Lieutenant Aurora out, and she kind of sighs and walks out, heading out of the compound to get a breath of fresh air.
Looks like an opportunity for Quix to talk to her. Excuse me, Lieutenant. It seems like you and the other doctor seem to have a bit of a difference of opinion.
I was merely suggesting enhancements that he could make to his manufacturing process.
And I'm sure they were accurate observations. But some folks they take those things the wrong way. Might I suggest that you consider a different approach to making your suggestions?
Uh, I I'll consider it. What suggestions do you have in mind?
Just my primary suggestion is that be careful to avoid appearing as if you are, telling someone that they're doing things wrong. And the really best way to do it is to be clever and get them to ask you for those suggestions. Sometimes when advice like that, particularly with professionals of any kind of caliber, folks that they're experts in the field, they tend to take it personally when folks suggest that their way is not the best way, even when it's not.
It
It's inefficient, right?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, it's part of human interaction. I'm not, I'll be honest with you, I'm not very familiar with synthetic life forms like yourself. How well equipped are you for processing emotion?
I am programmed with linguistic capability and to adapt and analyze. Um, he does not seem to, every time I make a suggestion or change my attitude on approaching subject, he seems very resistant, making it difficult.
Yes. Eh, Are his methods going to cause the project to fail?
That remains to be seen. I have not analyzed the new matrix yet, but his method of building, if it's well, the casing's not sound, then if there is an overload within the shield matrix, it would not properly contain the explosion, and could cause damage to this facility as well as um, damage to a test vehicle of some kind.
Well, that would be unfortunate. What are the odds of it happening?
The haven't computed the odds yet, but my quantum brain is not that sophisticated of Lieutenant Commander or Commander Data.
Well, regardless, you strike me as an intelligent being,
Thank you.
and probably very well versed in what you do. How would you feel emotionally if someone were to challenge your methodology?
Well, I do feel emotion, but I will usually set that aside. I am. Well, if someone is displeased with me, I usually try to confiscate or. Yeah, I am now struggling with words. Sorry. Adapt to the situation at hand.
Well, Lieutenant, that's an admirable trait that you have to be able to set those aside and work. work collaboratively with others, even when your feelings are hurt. Not all humans are very good at that. In fact, there are some humans that are really bad at that, in my experience. Some Trill, too. May I suggest patience, and maybe through questions and interrogatives, lead him to realize the things that that he needs to know. Ask him what kind of help he needs. Be more supportive and less instructive, if that makes sense.
Wow.
I will take that under consideration and attempt to be comforting.
I think that'll improve the efficiency of the whole group. And maybe we'll find some room for growth for everybody here. Everybody's got room to grow. I mean, if the cooks on the promenade keep up their current level, most of my growth will come in my waist, but we all got room to grow. That's a joke.
Well, I would hope a simple exercise routine would help alleviate that growth. But
Garibaldi chuckles. See, and you've got a sense of humor too. Well, I'll give you a moment to collect your thoughts, and then let's go back to work, eh?
Yes.
Then Garibaldi will kind of step back inside and give her a moment to collect your thoughts on her own. He'll be the nosy Trill that he is. He'll walk over to the doctor. Doctor, how's your progress going?
If that lieutenant would stay out of my way, I would be making more progress. I can do this on my own. Starfleet didn't need to send whoever she is.
I am confident in your abilities, and I have no doubt you could do this on your own, but why? Many hands make light work, Doctor.
What she's suggesting that I do is start back from zero on this casing. Applying a nanopolymer technique would take weeks to build.
Is there a middle ground? A way to... I mean, it sounds to me like she has some concerns about safety concerns, structural integrity concerns.
This is merely a prototype, Lieutenant. If the casing destroyed, I assure you, even in an overload, it will not destroy this station. Not for the design that we are working with. Plus, the test chamber is as ample room to handle any unforeseen accidents that might happen.
Accidents result in setbacks. I mean, a simple preventative now could prevent lengthy delays later, Doctor.
And any prolonged delays now will endanger more lives, Lieutenant.
Yeah, that is true. Still, remember, even with your high-level expertise, any help will speed the process up. Just because she makes a suggestion doesn't mean you can take it. You have to take it, but maybe at least consider it. It might smooth the relations a little. Wouldn't you agree?
What is it that you want, Sam? Would you take her out?
Poor dog.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I need to take the dog out. I'll be right back.
With that, we will head back up to the Tenchi. Ellin of Four, you've rested for quite a while trying different bubbly beverages that at least the ECH is willing to give you.
Like, has it been more than a couple of days?
No, it's only been like a couple of hours. Perhaps once the doctor clears you here, Lieutenant, we can sample different types of soup.
Yes, we should do that.
Tell me, Lieutenant, how are you feeling?
I don't know what word to use.
Excited, sad, depressed. There's a wide range of emotions.
How do you know if you're sad?
You feel like you're down.
Down? As in low?
Metaphorically.
I don't feel metaphorically low.
I see.
What is excited?
Anxious, willing, feeling an urgency to do something.
I can't decide. Can I just feel what the doctor's feeling?
These are your emotions, not his.
So I don't get to choose?
You are not sort of, not per se. Your feelings are more of a reaction to your circumstances that either you have chosen to do, or what someone else has thrusted upon you, or a situation that is happening outside of your control.
Well, Doctor, how does one have excitement thrust upon them outside of their own control?
Excitement thrust into out of your control. Um, have you been to Risa? That might be an
No, but
interesting experience for you.
I
I think
did.
it's more of a higher tier of emotion. It might not be something you want to do right away.
I've never been to Risa, but I did complete a rest and relaxation program.
Oh, similar. I'm not sure what the program entailed, but it could possibly be a way for you to experience emotions that you have not been able to in a similar way, like the roller coaster. Actually, perhaps you could take a when your body is back to feeling healthy, go take that for they call it a thrill ride for a reason. You intentionally create a circumstance in which you were excited. I would slowly graduate into those feelings, but perhaps first starting out with maybe different foods, maybe some social activities, that kind of thing. I'm sure the ECH can let you know what the possible ones are.
ECH, why don't you compile a list of emotions, and we'll attempt each emotion as we find time.
Perhaps a self discovery is best left to circumstances rather than being thrust upon you. You could have a negative reaction even in a testing environment.
Sure. Either way, take your time going back into your duties. When you are cleared from medical, you probably start you out on light duty just to get you so you get used to being the new Ellin, as it were.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go find a terminal.
Uh, okay.
I would like to create a list of activities to make one happy. And then I will attempt to do the activities.
What are the activities?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking the computer.
Oh, as far as a research partner, let's go. Let's go reason plus con. Let's go reason con. Difficulty 1.
Con officers, they know how to be happy and fly things.
Well, let's not just navigate the computer to say, "Hey, what does this look like?"
Oh no.
One at the top of the list is called orbital skydiving. People seem to love doing that, and it makes them happy. At the top of the list.
All right, I will schedule a holodeck to go orbital skydiving. Unless, can I replicate the equipment necessary to do it?
There is a computer. There is a program in the holodeck that will provide everything you need.
Yeah, but if I could replicate the equipment, we have a planet nearby. I could just do the real thing.
You can attempt to replicate the stuff once you're cleared for medical.
I will be planning my orbital skydive then.
Is there anything anybody else wishes to do? Alrighty. Ellin of Four. You've replicated the necessary equipment to do an orbital skydive, and you're getting ready to depart from the Tenchi. Actually, we'll go in the shuttle bay for that.
I would, if the doctor wishes, I'll send him an invite to experience happiness.
Does the doctor accept?
Sure.
As the two of you are heading towards the shuttlecraft, Commander Solon walks into the shuttle bay, wondering why there is a request to use a shuttlecraft for recreation use.
So, Lieutenant, what did you have in mind for your day of? Oh, hi, Commander.
Doctor, Lieutenant.
Yeah,
Commander,
what did you have
Doctor.
in? Lieutenant, Commander. Wait, that's not quite right. What did you have in mind for your first adventure into testing your happiness?
I think I have learned that a big part of happiness is the fulfillment of anticipation. So I will leave you with the anticipation for the moment, Doctor.
Well, I'm not the one that needed practice, actually. But I understand your willingness to hold the surprise, as it were. Can you tell me at least the nature of it? I hope it's not too stressful on your body.
You'll feel the wind in your hair, Doctor.
Alas, in my younger days.
I believe
I would invite you, Commander, but as I understand it, you can't have fun.
this is an inappropriate use of Starfleet equipment and material. This type of activity is for recreation. Is the reason we have recreational facilities on worlds like Risa and holodecks.
If there were a atmospheric survey that took place, would then the it become acceptable to use the shuttle?
There is no such.
You're just particularly needy tonight, aren't you?
There is no such survey scheduled for this system at this time, Lieutenant. Again, I encourage you to use the holodeck.
Commander, I'd like to schedule an atmospheric survey.
That is not a function of the engineering department.
What?
Again,
Daddy
I
just took
encourage
you
you to use the holodeck.
out. He did.
Miss Furyk, we're going on a sensor mission or something? That doesn't sound very fun.
Don't worry, Doctor. It will be fun.
I'm not worried. Just curious.
Regardless, the use of the shuttles for recreational purposes is not appropriate this time and is disapproved.
Perhaps we could do it on the holodeck instead. Commander seems pretty determined. There's other things you can learn about fun. It's called disappointment. I mean, you can't have the fun you think you want. But you can get past that pretty quickly when you change your focus onto something you do enjoy. Is there a way to do this activity in the holodeck? You could try your roller coaster program.
I'm gonna stomp down very loudly and say, but I would like to have fun.
Of course. This is a new emotion for you, I guess. But this is not it. I assure you. But there are limitations to working on a starship. So, like I said, there are a range of emotions. But to make fun, maybe we could start with some ice cream.
I don't want any more foods, Doctor. I want fun.
Well, indeed.
Perhaps, Doctor, the lieutenant needs to spend some time with her holographic counselor or the ship's counselor.
Understood.
Personally, I suggest meditation is quite peaceful and enjoyable.
Yes. Your breadth of emotion is commendable for a Vulcan. But I do not believe that was the intention of Lieutenant Ellen's request, I guess. What were we going to use the shuttle for anyway?
Doesn't matter. It's ruined now. I'm just kind of I'm just gonna walk off.
Perhaps another time? Lieutenant? So, Commander, why was the request not palatable, I guess?
Doctor, we are currently engaged in providing security for a critical classified mission for Starfleet that has ramifications for security for the entire quadrant, specifically the Cardassian Union. The use of our shuttles for recreational purposes during such a mission is inappropriate.
Well, when you put it that way, I suppose that would spoil the fun.
I do not believe fun is part of the Starfleet Charter, Doctor.
You'd be surprised. The thrill of discovery is quite palpable to the Federation.
There are ways to help the lieutenant process her newfound connection to her emotive states. Perhaps work with the counseling staff to find ways that would assist her in this transition without the misuse of Starfleet resources.
I understand. She has a docket of scheduled counseling sessions as I prescribed after the procedure. So I'm sure to be used well when she chooses to. But I can understand your reluctance, Commander. I guess that this date is over, as it were. Not a date, but engagement.
Indeed.
I will not hold it against you to ruining her fun, as it were.
Slenus raises an eyebrow at that, and as you will, Doctor, and turns and leaves.
Commander.
And I think this is a good segue into going to the next scene as we go back to the Ops Center of Deep Space 17. Commander Reef, please report to operations.
Absolutely. And I'll step up.
Commander, long-range sensors are picking up a Cardassian Galor-class vessel heading towards the station.
Did we have any advance notice of this?
No, sir.
Is there anything off about their power signatures?
Not detecting anything off about their power signatures, sir, but they are running with their shields up.
Status of their weapons?
Currently, they are offline.
Hail them, would you please?
Aye, sir. And a few moments pass, and on the view screen, here's a Cardassian. Deep Space 17, this is Gol Tanor of the Cardassian Union. Prepare to have the Cardassian researchers Gol Zeti's body for transport to this vessel.
Of course, Galtaner. I am Commander Arif. I am the captain's assistant. I will clear it with the captain, and we'll make sure that we'll get that body returned to you.
Both researchers, Dr. Tolrao and Specialist Jera Lemi, are to also be recovered and transferred to this vessel.
Of course, absolutely. As soon as we end transmission, just please forward us the paperwork. You know how we are about bureaucracy, and we'll get that underway right away. I'll start collecting them right now, actually. Unless you have anything else.
Please have them ready by the time we arrive.
Of course, and we'll look forward to that paperwork. Gotta cross the T's, dot the I's.
And he cuts the communications.
Estimated time to arrival? Lieutenant?
6 hours.
Arif to Chief Garibaldi.
I'm right here, sir.
Oui, sorry. I'm gonna. I'll be sending down that shuttlecraft for you right away. Could you
He's,
please? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you back on the station?
I believe he was back on. It's been some time, so you already set the shuttlecraft down. So,
Okay, I'm
he's-
sorry. In which case, uh, wait. In which case, could you please report to ops?
From behind the commander, Garibaldi says, "Here, sir."
Oh, look up, startled. We need to put a bell on you or something. Um, I take it you heard the transmission?
Yes, commander. I made sure the Tenchi was aware.
Excellent. I'm thinking we should gather up our Cardassian researchers and hide them away in the station for now until we make sure that this is a legitimate pickup. Seems a little off.
I agree, commander. We should have gotten advance notice from Starfleet Command or Starfleet Intelligence or somebody.
And that gull seemed a little brusque for my tastes. So, that's what I'm gonna do. Actually, why don't you send a security team down in a runabout to collect the researchers?
Just the Cardassians, sir, or the entire team? They will object. And they have started making significant progress. I'd hate to interrupt them.
I am leaning towards just the Cardassians.
I would also point out, sir, that if the Cardassians' motives are not above board, the researchers right now are in a place where they cannot be abducted by transporter.
That's true, but it takes the control of one of the negotiating pieces away from us. Um, Not that we will give them to the Cardassians, but probably best to at least attempt to show good faith. That being said, why don't you send down two runabouts? Fill them both with security teams. Let's bring up the Cardassians, leave the teams for the rest of the researchers, and leave them with a runabout.
Yes, sir. So you want a second security team on the planet. Got it.
Thank you, Chief. And I'm guessing by now the paperwork has yet to come through.
So the orders come from the Cardassian provisional government of request of all Cardassian personnel to be evacuated from Federation space.
Hmm.
Looks like
And I'm
this does
sorry,
not this does not come from Starfleet, but from the Cardassian Union itself.
well, hmm. Actually, why don't we open a channel to Starfleet Command?
Who are you trying to reach, per se?
Or I guess whoever either sector chief or sector admiral or uh,
Well, the sector commander is sitting in his office currently on the station,
oh,
which
okay,
is Captain
then
Keller. Um,
well, I'm
the
gonna go.
You gonna go to Keller?
I'm gonna go to Keller. Um, Captain, if you have a moment.
Certainly. Sit down, Commander.
Thank you, Captain. Taking my seat. Um, I'll cross my legs and look a little pensive and say, Captain, we seem to have had a unusual request from a Cardassian Galler class ship, Gull Tenor, I believe. Uh, he would seem to be under the impression that um, he is picking up our Cardassian researchers, followed by a Cardassian announcement ordering the evacuation of all Cardassians from Federation space. Have you heard anything about that from Starfleet Command?
No, I haven't been briefed on anything like that.
Well, I personally found the exchange a little distrustful and be collecting the Cardassian researchers to better protect them on the station while protecting the rest of the researchers. Do you have any objections to that?
Sending on a extra security team is a good precaution, though they are obscured from sensors, from my understanding, as well as transport activity. So they should be safe on the surface.
They should be. That being said, I'm also leaving a runabout down there just in case.
Very well.
Um, I think it might also be prudent to have the temporary chief start subtly scaling up our defenses for their arrival.
How so?
I'm sorry, say again.
How do you wish to do that?
Oh, simply getting everything pre-charged and ready, uh, attempting to hide the energy signatures so we can go from. Uh,
I must stop you right there. It would be a little hard to hide that you're charging the station's phasers. You could put the station on yellow alert, which would put the shields up and have everyone ready for active duty. And then once you flip the switch to red alert, the phasers would come online. So
um, I would prefer to hold off on that for now. Um, it seems a little defensive. Well, in that case, I'm simply going to nod and say, thank you, Captain. I will try to handle this situation to the best of my ability.
very well. I will be in touch with Admiral Bullock.
Thank you, Captain. I will be in ops. Um, Returning to ops, I'll look to Garibaldi and say, Chief, if you can, just in case, why don't you get together with your counterpart on the Tenchi?
Garibaldi's gone.
Oh,
You told him to go and do, and he went and did.
no,
He
I told you to send a team, not go yourself.
He's taking care of it.
All right.
Well, he's on his way. He's going to give the security team instructions anyway.
Fair enough. Then I am gonna go back to ops and there's
His actual intention was to bring the Cardassians back himself, since they're the priority target, as it were.
Guess I didn't figure it out.
fair enough. Well, in which case I've got 6 hours and everyone has their order, so I don't really want to get into a conversation with that cantankerous old man, so I'm gonna go back to my office.
So you're heading down, Garibaldi.
Yeah, Garibaldi's just going to take a trip down, grab the Cardassians and bring them back, unless Arif changes his orders in the meantime.
I mean, I'm not going to. If that is how you interpreted those orders, then go for it.
You arrive down there with a security team.
He will deploy the security team to beef up security, particularly for the researchers themselves, but also their equipment. I'm sure that'll draw the attention of the researchers.
He's deep in thought. Aurora's trying to help him. Dr. Willis comes up to like, Lieutenant Quinix, what is going on?
I need to speak to the Cardassian researchers. A Cardassian warship is en route. Pick them up. We have yet been able to verify the orders from Starfleet Command, though.
Well, be sure you do. That if they leave, their whole matrix is the foundation for this project.
Yes, sir, I understand. But Commander Arif has ordered me to bring the Cardassians, the two Cardassian researchers, to the station for their own safety, until we can verify the orders from Starfleet Command. We want to get them where we feel they're safest.
And what happens if you let the Cardassians go with them? We lose. We have to start from scratch and develop a whole new matrix.
I understand, Doctor, and I empathize with you, but that's why we're verifying the orders with Starfleet Command. This seems very unusual to us, and because of the unusual nature and the lack of prior notice of these orders from the Cardassians, we want to put the Cardassians somewhere safe. I don't wish to jeopardize the project any further by risking their safety.
Can you keep it down? Perhaps we should take this conversation in the hallway.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sir. If you're welcome to talk to Commander Arif, but unless he changes his mind, I've got to follow my orders and escort the Cardassian researchers back to the station. They'll be safe. They'll be safer there, sir. Protected by the station shield and the starship that's in orbit.
I thought the whole point of constructing this facility was to keep us safe. And you're telling me we're not safe, Lieutenant?
That's not what I said, Doctor. So we are increasing their safety.
How are they safer on the station than here in the outpost? We are obscured. We're hidden from sensors. visually we've made every preparation to keep this facility hidden.
Yes, sir. I made that point to my executive officer, sir, but he ordered me to bring the researchers up to the station. It's above my pay grade, Doctor. It'll take me a moment to talk to the researchers if you
I'm
want to try to talk the commander out of this.
cannot let you take them. They're doing important work. And he's visually extremely frustrated. I will go and talk to Commander Arif about this.
Then he leaves Garibaldi. He's going to go find the Cardassian researchers.
It's not hard. It's not a big station. Jared, can you please adjust the phase harmonics to 0.04?
Doctor, specialist, I apologize for the intrusion, the interruption, but a situation has arisen, and Commander Arif has ordered me to bring you back to Deep Space 17.
We are about to make a major breakthrough. Lieutenant, can I not wait?
How long do you need?
The better part of the day.
That may be too long, Doctor. There is our Cardassian warship on its way.
Then tell them to go back. I am busy here.
They appear quite determined to take you and your assistant back to Cardassia.
Under what reasons?
My XO is communicating with Starfleet Command now to verify the orders. But Commander Reef has ordered me to bring you back to the station for your safety.
I am sure the defenses here are more than adequate. Let's continue my work. Our work.
I empathize and agree with you, Doctor, but I have my orders. Plus, there are no real ground-based defenses here. You are hidden, but if the Cardassian warship is able to ascertain your position, you would be vulnerable.
Then I suggest they do not. Whoever they are, I have assurances from several members of the Cardassian Parliament that our research would go undisturbed. Gul Zedin made sure of that.
Is it possible, sir, that there are others in your government that are opposed to this project?
And why would they be opposed? This only helps us as well as the Federation.
Makes no sense to me. But one of your government's warships are on the way. The other research doctor is in the process of talking to Commander Arif to see if he can talk Commander Arif out of his orders. But if he can't, I will have to politely insist that you come with me, sir. Ma'am.
You're asking me to give up on my friend who died, murdered by some sort of saboteur that you were unable to catch. How much reassurance I will get? You will just not simply hand us over to this Gull to where we'll be fated to maybe possible execution.
Why would that be a potential outcome, Doctor? Why would your government execute a valuable scientist like yourself? That doesn't make any sense.
Apparently, have not been involved much with Cardassians, Lieutenant.
Perhaps. Oh,
Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to my work and finish what my friend started.
no. I will return shortly. Quick's going to step out in the hall. Hit his combat. Lieutenant Quicks to Commander Reef.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Um, the researchers are refusing to come back to the station, sir. What level of force do you wish to authorize me to use? Or do
As
you wish
much
me to secure this position?
Well, follow my logic, Chief. Correct me if I'm wrong, and you weren't the chief at the time, but you weren't aware that these Cardassian researchers were headed towards the station, were you?
No, sir. But they say
In fact,
they say they're close to a breakthrough, Commander.
well, that's okay. The fact of the matter is, that wasn't public knowledge. So if these Cardassians know that they're here, they probably know about the research station. So those Cardassians cannot be in the research station. They will be coming back to the station over their objections or not, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Just want to make you aware I may have to use force to do this.
if you have to, you have to, Chief. You can put it under my orders. I can give you 2 hours, but after that, everyone's, or I want all of you coming back up, regardless of the status of their project.
Yes, sir. Quick's out.
Thank you, Chief.
Garibaldi just sighs and thinks to himself, well, this is going to be fun.
While you're doing that, a reef, you get a hail from the surface of the planet.
Go for a reef.
Commander, this is Dr. Oscar Willis. Please, I am being told by Lieutenant Quinix here that you are taking 2 of my researchers.
That's correct. Only temporarily, they will be returned.
And what assurance you will tell me that they will be returned, Commander?
I just told you. There's your assurance.
And your lieutenant told me that there's an issue with a Galor-class vessel coming here.
That is correct. That's why they're being evacuated to the station.
And what of our safety?
That's why we're leaving extra security personnel, but we feel that it's highly unlikely that the Cardassians even know of your existence. And with the other researchers away from you, that will guarantee your safety, or as close to it as we can. Unless, of course, you'd like to evacuate the whole team, in which case we can do that right away. We can bring you all up to the station, or we can bring those 2. Which would you prefer? Doctor?
And you assure me it's just the one Galor class?
That is what we have picked up so far.
then the rest of us will remain here.
Understood. Let me know if you need anything. Arif out. And I'm gonna hang up on him.
Garibaldi's going to bring a couple extra security guys with him, but he's going to have them stand outside and then go in. I apologize, Doctor and Specialist, but I have confirmed my orders with Commander Arif. I am going to have to insist that you come with me. It is for the best.
Just 1 second. 0.04, 0.05. Ha! And you see a smile on his face. It works. Apologies, Lieutenant. Our many more sleepless nights are ahead of us. Jera, we need to begin work on this on this building this new matrix.
Well, I congratulate you on your breakthrough, Doctor. It is, however, time to go for now.
But we just only begun, Lieutenant. Please, you cannot leave right now. Any time wasted is another life that is lost within the Union. My people are at stake here. Lieutenant, I beg of you, let us stay down here.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Doctor. It is a temporary delay now. Will be much better than possible negative consequences should your people come to retrieve you. Please come with me, sir, ma'am.
My duty to our Cardassia puts us here, Lieutenant.
I disagree, Doctor. Your duty to Cardassia cannot be fulfilled if you are captured, executed, or otherwise harmed. All of this equipment can be simulated on our holodeck and allow you to continue to theoretically work during the delay. But your countrymen will be here in a little under 5 hours.
Fine. Give me presence. Command opposed. I tried.
All right. I gotta win this one. Dang it. Since I'm under orders from Commander Reeve, can I spend towards mission directive?
Sure.
Do so. Take persuasion as a focus.
Yes.
I'll give you 2 momentum for an extra die.
I'll spend 3 threat. Why not? Wants to stay and work on his project.
Come on, roll 20. There we go. Sorry, I hit the button twice because I didn't work to come out the first time.
You get your 2 momentum back. Very well.
Thank you, Doctor.
Assure that your men keep this And he kind of pulls out David. This safe.
When he says this, are you talking about the room full of equipment or a specific
A
device?
specific pad, because they've been working on simulation data this whole time.
Can we not bring it with us?
He's giving you a pad. He's telling you to keep it safe.
Okay. I will protect this information with my life, since it means the life of your people, not theirs. And then I will take them back to the shuttle and head back to Deep Space 17. I'll leave that extra security team down on the planet to keep the rest of the researchers safe and to protect the equipment that the Cardassians were working on.
Okay. You head back up to the station. And it takes you a little bit, but the deadline eventually approaches. I'm guessing that they're in their quarters for the time being.
They are in their quarters under guard, and is there a way to set to ensure that that deck on the station can't be scanned, so the Cardassians can't find their countrymen?
No. Unfortunately, not. No.
And then Twix needs to find actually, trying to decide whether or not to keep the data pad on my person or hide it. How big is that data pad?
A standard size data pad.
That's so helpful.
And it's actually helpful.
The size of a iPad mini.
Yeah, I'm going to hide. I'm going to put that data pad, kind of put it in a protective case and keep it. Can I put the data pad in a scan-proof case? Do we have such a thing?
Faraday box.
I mean, small enough that I could put the pad in it. Actually, can I spend 2 momentum to create an advantage?
Yes.
That I've got a container that I can put that pad in to prevent scanning.
Yes.
And then hide the pad itself on my person.
No, not on your person. It's too big.
Okay, then I'd like to use my focus and espionage and my security skills to find a darn good hiding place for the pad.
Insight plus security difficulty 2.
I'm going to spend that last momentum for a third die. But I'm going to give you 2 threat for a 4th die because I really want to succeed here.
Gain a momentum.
I note that the successes came on the extra dice too.
You find a appropriate spot to hide the box that contains the data pad in a place only you know about.
And Garibaldi will tell no one. Not even the commander.
Assuming at this time you arrive at ops.
Sounds good.
Just you arrive, Captain Keller walks out of his office and goes, Commander Reef, we are under orders by Admiral Bullock to keep the Cardassian researchers here. They have no orders from the Cardassian Union on their departure.
Understood. Uh, in which case, I suggest we put the station on yellow alert, and when the chief gets back, I'll have him start comparing strategy with his counterpart in the Tenchi. I have a feeling this probably won't end peacefully.
Well, a single Galore class was no match for us, but
Well,
hopefully we can handle this through negotiation.
hopefully, but this they have a lot of information that they shouldn't have, so something tells me it might not just be that ship we have to contend with.
I wonder if Starfleet Intelligence would have some useful information that might help us out here.
Well, anyone have any friends with Starfleet Intelligence? I've heard they keep their secrets pretty well. Captain, maybe you could try to get some information that way?
Prefer not to deal with them.
Well,
I'll send a request to have someone contact me.
Aris just gonna actually chuckle at the idea of the captain not wanting to deal with Starfleet Intelligence, because Arif can certainly understand that.
They're not that bad fellows. I did some profiling for them early in my career. They're fine folks, most of them.
Well, being as how you must have, do you know any of those fine folks that you could give a call? Maybe cut through some of the tape for us? Uh,
Well, I didn't actually maintain friendships with those guys. They're kind of hard to get to know.
and I suppose we shall have to wait for the captain's request. Thoughts on jumping the gun and going straight to red alert, Chief?
I think we're fine at yellow alert as long as the shields are up. I've notified the Tenchi that the Cardassians are coming. I'll update their current commanding officer and let them know that we've been ordered to resist uh, turning the researchers over to them. Hopefully, we can deal with this diplomatically. I mean, their Obsidian Order, their Obsidian Order was wiped out, right? Couldn't be one of their ships, right?
Well, something you worked for Starfleet Intelligence. You should know that a fragmented intelligence agency is just as dangerous, if not more, than an intact one.
I did a little profiling on time, sir.
Well, in which case, a fractured agency is quite possibly more dangerous than an intact one. Much less rules.
Possibly. It seemed strange to me that the civilian government would send a warship out here, but I don't understand why their military would want to damage this project. There's got to be something else going on, Commander.
There is something else going on, Chief. It would appear that someone wants our researchers.
Well, they can't have them, sir.
No, they can't. And at that,
Commander-
Arif's actually
We're being hailed.
on screen.
Deep Space 17, your time is nearly up. Have you procured the researchers?
Ah, go. Excellent. We were just talking about you. We're still waiting on a couple pieces of paperwork on our end, but you're still a few hours away, so we should have it all set by then. After all, I'm sure nobody likes bureaucracy, and if we make a mistake, then I'm gonna spend the next 3 weeks going blind on paperwork, and I quite frankly don't want that.
I could care less what you want.
Well, I'll keep that in mind because I have to care a little bit about it, though. So, how was your travels?
You have 1 hour. We'll be arriving then.
Excellent. Would you prefer to
Close
dock?
the channel.
Ah, okay. Arif's gonna hit his comm badge and issue a general order for all non-essential personnel, civilians, to basically lock down in quarters. Restaurants close, shops close. Basically, put the station on lockdown.
Presence command difficulty 2.
Alrighty. Can I? Could you take one threat, please? Oh, and no, I have no focus.
Gain a momentum. And the civilians are complying to the general order.
Well, I'm gonna turn to the chief. Looks like we have about an hour before this comes to a head. I guess we have simply but to wait.
Jim, did the goal look like he was hiding something?
Insight plus command difficulty 2.
Insight plus what? Medicine?
Command. Insight plus
Oh.
command diff 2.
Oh, I thought that was a roll for a reef.
No, that's for you.
If I use the focus of psychiatry, can we shift that to medicine?
Mm.
I'm basically trying to psychoanalyze the guy for those few before he cut off.
This is more. Sure.
I will spend a momentum for an extra die and psychiatry for a focus.
Gain 2. He he definitely looks stressed, and he definitely looks like he's hiding something, but you're not sure what.
That's fair. Not to state the obvious, Commander, but that goal's not telling you everything. Seems to be under a great stress.
Indeed, Chief. Indeed. It seems pretty clear that this is most likely a rogue element of the Cardassian government or some sort of group.
Do you know if Starfleet made any attempts to contact the Cardassians?
From what I understand, Chief, there's been no. I'm sorry. Did the captain tell me that the admiral said that there was no
There was no orders from Starfleet. Did not receive.
Cardassia.
Yeah, there was nothing they got from Cardassia.
Okay. Yeah, from everything we've been able to determine, Chief, they are forged orders. So something tells me they're not going to take a no thank you very politely.
Well, I don't think they've got the firepower to take them from us. And the last time I looked, Cardassians don't have cloaking devices.
That's a fair point, Chief. However, that being said, I'm going to assume they probably know that too, yet they're still coming, so they have something up their sleeve.
Yes, sir. Well, is there anything further, sir? I'm going to do a quick inspection of the shielding and weapon systems. Make sure we're ready to go in case the worst happens.
Absolutely. Just be back up here in 45 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what Quicks is just going to do. Check in with all of his security teams and the weapons crews and whatnot, just to make sure we're ready.
You do that. They're ready. As the hour passed, you get a hail from the Cardassian vessel as it's entering the system and rapidly approaching the station.
I'll open the hailing frequencies and give the gull a big ol' smile and say, Gull, we were just thinking of you.
Are they ready in your transporter room?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Hold on, please, for one moment. Let me just double check that the translators are working. Ensign, the translators, they're working correctly?
I have calibrated for the Cardassian language database, Commander. However, it could be off. I shall endeavor to double check. This could take a while.
Of course. I'm sorry, Gull. It apparently we're having some difficulties. I was trying to offer a refusal, but it seems like the language barrier has caught us. If you could just give us a couple minutes.
Stop delaying. You will hand over the 2 Cardassian researchers plus the body of Gul Zeti immediately, and any research data that they have.
I apologize, Gull. I unfortunately have contradictory orders, and when that happens, I gotta listen to the home team. Perhaps what would be useful here would be if you were to simply return until this can get worked out, and then you can come back.
I am under my orders, Commander, and I tend to follow through with them. You will hand over the researchers and all of their equipment, including the body of Gul Zeti.
I'm afraid then we're at an impasse, Gull, because as I said, I'm just not going to do that. But like I said, I think the best thing to do would be for us to wait until all of our respective governments are in agreement with the situation. And then once I get my orders, you can come take whoever you want. But for now, I'm going to have to ask you to please return from where you came from.
Stops for a second, looks at you, and then looks kind of decided. No, I did what you want.
What who wants, Gull?
No, and a loud explosion can be heard as the view screen turns to static.
Chief, did the ship just explode, or did we lose connection?
Commander, sensors are picking up 5 Breen warships. They're right on top of the And with that, this will be to be continued.